Hello, everyone. Well, cooler for everyone today, but if you're in the southeastern part of the state, definitely not as cool as we'd like it to be. Check out high temperatures day and the big variation across the state. But let's start with Omaha, Lincoln, Beatrice. Well, it's not in the triple digits, but we're still talking about high temperatures reaching the upper 90s, which is at record territory. We could still be talking about tying some record highs in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Omaha today. But then as you go to the west, look how we quickly transition to the low 90s, the upper 80s, the low 80s, and how about the mid to upper 70s out in the far western part of the state. I also got to talk about how the winds are going to be very unique today. So, very tight wind gradients. So, in the Lincoln, Omaha area, we're talking about gusts 35, 40 miles per hour. So, getting into that very windy territory. And same thing over in the Panhandle, where we're seeing our coolest temperatures. So where we're seeing the hottest temperatures and the coolest temperatures, that's where the winds are going to be the strongest in that 35, 40 mile per hour range. But as you get into the central part of the state, in the transition zone, that's actually where the winds are going to be lightest. Now, it's still going to be breezy, but we're only talking about gusts 20, 25 miles per hour. Places like Kearney, probably even Grand Island and North Platte. So lots going on with the winds and the temperatures, but we do have to talk about the storm chance as well. Now, I think we're going to be dry until the late afternoon. And actually, in the late afternoon, I think still in the central and eastern part of the state, it's going to be dry. I think the activity is going to start over in the Panhandle. But we're going to have to start paying attention as we get into the evening hours, because look how the activity really starts to fill in the southeastern part of the state, and the activity in that Panhandle trying to push into the central part of the state. Even at 9 o'clock, though, there's still gaps. I still don't think this is going to be the peak of the activity, but the severe threat will have begun at this point. Yes, we are talking about the chance for damaging wind and hail, unfortunately. And I think right now it's looking like the activity is going to be pretty late tonight, around midnight. And right now, the latest high-resolution model is peaking the activity around the Grand Island, Kearney, Columbus area. This could still change a little bit, but this is looking like some of the places that have the best chance for seeing the stronger storms. Definitely heavy rain and lightning looking likely, with a chance of damaging wind and hail as well. I've still got to leave in a chance fairly late tonight, though. I think the threat is going to be dying down. We're going to start transitioning to just plain old heavy rain and lightning. The chance for damaging wind and hail is going to be becoming less and less. This is at 3 a.m., but look at this big swath of rain. But notice how it really backs off in the southeastern part of the state. So it kind of creeps in the far eastern part of the state and creeps in the far western side of the state. And it looks like it's kind of going to peak in the central part of the state. And then basically by 6 a.m., that big area of rain is going to be sliding on out of here. And we're just going to be talking about some isolated showers by the time we get to early Wednesday morning. So let's talk about who has a chance of seeing severe storms. Mainly during the evening and early overnight hours tonight. We've got the marginal and slight risk, marginal risk for North Platte. A lot of folks in the eastern part of the state under the slight risk level 2 out of 5. That includes Omaha, Lincoln, Beatrice, Columbus, Grand Island, Kearney. And what's most likely, still, when we're talking about marginal and slight risk, is just heavy rain and lightning. But we do see the potential for a couple of storms overachieving. And in those overachieving storms, we're talking about wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, some quarter-size hail, and though the chance is very small, can't rule out an EF0 or EF1 tornado. And we'll keep an eye on where the storms ultimately are going to peak. It's possible we might end up being able to hone in on this a little bit and kind of tighten our focus on who might have the greatest severe threat. But right now, we want to highlight really much of eastern Nebraska as having the chance for severe storms during the evening hours and early overnight hours. No chance of severe storms tomorrow. In general, there's not going to be much rain, but there's going to be a small chance of rain for much of the day. I think the best chance of rain for tomorrow is going to be in the morning hours, and not much. We're talking about isolated showers in the central and eastern part of the state. Going to stay completely dry out in the western part of the state. Notice by the time we get to lunchtime, it's not even isolated showers. I'm really just going to call it stray showers, and the only chance for the far eastern part of the state, but it's going to try and hold on. I can't completely rule out a stray shower into the early afternoon. If you're in the Lincoln and Omaha area, notice how there's going to be a little bit more cloud cover as well, where the clouds were really breaking up in the central and western part of the state. And notice that little green dot in the far southeastern quarter of the state at 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. The tiniest of chances in the late afternoon in southeastern Nebraska, but it is obviously a small chance. Notice how we have cooled down in the southeastern part of the state tomorrow as well. This is better. How about high temperatures in the low to mid 80s? And that's really what it's looking like across the state. Very uniform temperatures. Winds a lot lighter in the far eastern part of the state. I have to mention, too, for the Lincoln Omaha area, just looking breezy. Kind of a repeat of today in the central part of the state. Another breezy day. And the winds will be lighter in the panhandle, but still want to call it breezy for tomorrow with those gusts 30, 35 miles per hour. Finally, by 8 o'clock in the evening, we are completely dry and we will have clear skies across the state.